Yeah, I've worked as a growth hacker in the past. I don't tend to use the term anymore because it got a bit of a bad rep a few years ago. It's one of those things that when a fad comes along, so many people kind of jump on the train, and you get a few people who do a bad job and just kind of cover it with that name, and it gives everyone a bad term. You don't really see ads for growth hacker jobs anymore. You see growth marketer a lot, but that growth hacker term seems to have sort of faded away.
Yeah, I think it's totally on point. And why do you think so? Is it because we kind of understand now that it's sort of a made up thing, and that it's not.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was really always just a sort of focused performance marketer, really. The term was kind of useful at the time because in a lot of places that I worked and spoke to, they didn't really ever consider having a specific marketing person focused on one metric, on one sort of growth-based metric. So it kind of helped startup founders and CEOs to think about that. But then after a while, the term sort of became a bit muddied by some of the people that did it. And there are so many sort of cowboy growth hackers out there. So yeah, but it was very useful in terms of sort of reframing people, and obviously all the great work sort of Sean Ellis did around explaining what growth hacking is and that North Star metric and all that stuff kind of persists now that the term of growth hacking has gone. So it was good for that.
Yeah, I feel like it's becoming I think it's got a bad rep because of a few people for sure. And because I think it started getting out of hand, the whole growth obsession. And
Yeah,
there's also this kind of bro culture that kind of leached onto it. And which is
yeah,
kind of toxic. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look how we did this in 3 days. We got I don't know, 1,000 subscribers for this or that. And it's like,
yeah.
there's this sort of obsession with look at me, make it big, for made up things sometimes, because it has no basis. Usually it's very, I don't know. I don't know if you see what I mean or not, but
No, absolutely. I do see what you mean. I also found that there were that kind of growth for growth's sake without actually thinking about holistically sort of, looking after the people that you bring onto your business. And it was just about numbers, numbers, numbers. I don't think in the long term that's a great thing. I think that you have to have a more holistic picture of your marketing. Um, yeah, the kind of bro culture that sprung up around it, you're absolutely right. There was a lot of that. And also, I tend to find that, especially in the times when I was working and consulting in sort of growth hacking fields, that a lot of companies said they wanted a growth hacker and they didn't even really know what it was or what a growth hacker did. And I would kind of have to try and explain to them, look, there's a lot of product market fit, maybe you're not quite there. And they would take that as in you can't do it. But the problem is there's not very many products are actually are ready to be growth hacks. You have to be quite far down the line to get there. I can't come into a brand new business and growth hack it because we have nothing, no data to work from, so there was a lot of confusion around that. And that probably didn't help because businesses were employing growth hackers they didn't need and couldn't use. The growth hacker then couldn't do the job that they wanted them to do. So then they believed that all growth hackers were, false and bogus. And yeah, so the kind of term died a death, I think.
yeah, it's I share this because you know what, I think it's the the growth hackers of today, like, or at least people who call themselves growth marketers, because it's more like the trend right now.
Yeah,
I feel like their clients and their kind of target customer is more the small business owner. They're not talking to the marketer, because the marketer knows that, they know what they're about. And I feel like at some point they were relevant because they added this tech and heavy tech kind of arm to the marketing job. But it's part of the usual set of what a marketer is, and it's not something that is special or innovative like it was 10 years ago.
exactly. And I think that, as you say, marketers have woken up to a lot of the kind of tactics. And I think that now some of the things that a growth hacker did that were innovative are now just sort of table stakes. You just have to be doing that kind of stuff anyway at the moment. So as you said, digital marketers have to keep up. There are still some really, great points and some interesting studies and pieces of information out there that can still be used now. I really always go back to Gabriel Weinberg's Bullseye method. I think if you're stuck with how to do marketing for a startup and you don't know where to go next, I think you can take a couple of days and follow that methodology through and use some of the information from that. So again, there are some good points from the growth hacking idea, but it was just muddied, I think.